Welcome to Power Players, the show that takes you inside the boardroom with the CEOs, visionaries, and deal makers shaping the future of business. From behind closed door strategy to billion-dollar moves, we break it all down. Robots are rapidly transforming industries across America and around the world, fueled by a powerful wave of technological innovation and AI breakthroughs. As automation advances, robotics is no longer a distant concept. It's becoming a central part of the modern labor force. Roboforce, led by CEO Leo Ma, is at the forefront of this shift with its cutting-edge Titan robot, designed to perform complex tasks in the industrial sector with precision and efficiency. The company is helping to redefine the future of work by integrating intelligent robotic systems that enhance productivity, safety, and scalability. Let's start first and foremost with a bit of an introduction to Roboforce. And how do you define your mission? What is the company all about?
Sure. Roboforce is building the world's most advanced robo-labor to take on the things that shouldn't have to be human to do. Think about the things that are dirty, dull, and dangerous. So before the technology was not there, and now we believe it's the best timing to build an AI robotic system to do that.
Leo, I love the founders' journeys. I love the stories from people like yourself. How did your own personal background best prepare you to lead this stage of growth for the company?
Well, my previous years has been very much focused. My heart is in building AI robotics. For more than 15 years, this is really all I do. From Carnegie Mellon, and 11 years ago, I was architect building self-driving cars. 8 years ago, joined a startup, and 2 years ago, started Roboforce. So it's all about building AI and robotics.
What do you say makes Roboforce's approach to robotics and AI unique from competitors in the space?
Well, um, it's really about the perspective to start this and the focus. On one side, um, I do share the same vision that there'll be millions and many millions of a robot in our society. So a significant portion of that will be mobile labor to take on the things that may be far away from our daily life, but is essential, high value that again, dirty, dull, and dangerous that shouldn't have to be human to do. So that's the angle how we started. Second is since the starting of 2 years ago, we already built a very powerful AI model and a very capable robot that at Roboforce, we already see the tremendous value it can bring to since starting with clean energy, solar, manufacturing, logistic, shipping, data center, and beyond. So, and is very precise, is indoor and outdoor, very strong. And the more you use it, the smarter it is. Efficiency is also improving. So we see this is a significant moat we are building day by day.
Leo, I'm sure you've heard the critics, the voices of concern out there. They say robots will take our jobs. This is all about labor force displacement. How do you respond to those concerns that some have as they look at the ever shifting landscape of the labor market?
Well, that's actually in our mission. So, robotic for humanity is from the angle of at Roboforce, we're building AI robotic system to enable business and protect people. So you can see there are two layers of value here. One is the availability of the things that, again, shouldn't have to be human to do. The second part is adding on the availability about the safety and the risk mitigation. And at the end of the day, provided the value of the minimal cost of bringing the system using AI and robotics. So we're really building this to enable business that was limited by the labor shortage and also protect people not to have human workers to exposed to the condition and exposed to work that is potentially risky. That is how do we look at this in from day one.
Leo, are there particular industries I wonder that you envision maybe first to adopt robots like Titan, which is one that I know is in your so-called workforce? Are there particular industries or sectors you see being at the forefront over others?
Well, we are very excited to see since we introduced Titan, the Roboforce Titan robot earlier this year, the target domain that we are planning to go into, and there are customers and a significant opportunity knocking on our own door. So starting with clean energy, solar, ultra-scale solar center as one example, and also significant introduction of a Titan robot to massive scale data center and shipping, manufacturing, and mining. So as of today, we have more than 12 countries customers in line, and um, happy to share we have more than 11,000 robot orders that from our letter of intent. So that is much more than we initially planned towards. So it's exciting time.
Are there any tasks that Titan can handle that are personal favorites of yours? Are there special capabilities of the robots that are personal favorites of yours?
Yes. So um, this is really about the technical breakthrough, what was not possible at all, and now it is possible. Think about the both indoor-outdoor capable air robotic system in the middle of nowhere. The environment itself is newly opened door for opportunity number one. Second is precise and both precise and strong. Think about a dual arm. Altogether, it can lift about 40 kilogram. And with that level of a strong capability, it actually perform the fine motor skill at 1 millimeter and even sub 1 millimeter level of precision. So pretty much all kinds of robo labor work that you could imagine Roboforce Titan is capable to do. And uh, also, equally important is a ever-growing learning system. So the model behind it, the power of the brain is getting the new data and learn from the experience we're using that. There's a very smart and evolved. So it's outdoor, precise, strong, and efficient system. The more we use it, the smarter it is.
Leo, before I let you go, give me some sense about what comes next for the company. What does the horizon look like for the team at Roboforce, and how large do you think this market can get?
We are bringing our robo labor to the application we mentioned is all about uh, starting with a list of a robo labor internship, get the return offer, and deliver the robot towards the scale. So go to market is our single focus now, and we're starting with the internship.
Well, congratulations on all the success. Leo Ma is both the founder and the CEO of Roboforce. We are very grateful for his time and perspective laying out the exciting opportunities ahead for Roboforce. Leo, thank you. The Tech Bro Murders is a gripping 6-part series that delves into some of the most shocking and twisted murder cases linked to the rise of the tech industry. It explores how the early days of the tech boom, once seen as full of promise and innovation, also harbored dark undercurrents of greed, obsession, and betrayal. Every episode unpacks a chilling case where ambition meets a deadly end. I had the opportunity to speak with retired Palo Alto PD detective and host of the Tech Bro Murders, Sandra Brown. The show now airs on Investigation Discovery and HBO. So you and I were talking before we started the interview. I've gotten the opportunity to see the show. It is absolutely riveting for people who might just be getting a bit of an introduction to what it's all about. Is there really this dark underbelly of the world of Silicon Valley? What should people know?
Well, I'll tell you, I worked for the city of Palo Alto for 25 years. So that's in Silicon Valley. Palo Alto was the gateway to Silicon Valley back during the tech bro eras. And so, yes, you think because of the money, the wealth, the mansions, the better schools, the better stores, everything, the great income. I mean, average homes are like $5 million, right? You would think that it would be safe. And a lot of people, when I was working, would say, well, we don't lock our doors because it's safe here. Well, my number one thing always is crime does not have a zip code. It doesn't. Right. And so when these types of crimes occur, it is shocking because you have this expectation that things are going to go okay. You've made it to, the other side of the road. It's great. The grass is greener. And you have no idea that, yes, murders occur. Even in my city, I've worked at least 12 different types of homicides for our city. And that's just one city over the time that I was there. Think of all the cities that are in the Silicon Valley area times 10 or 15 murders. And yes, it does occur. People attribute these types of murders to lower socioeconomic communities, gang bangers, drugs are involved and all that kind of stuff. But no, sometimes people, because they have so much going for them, they think they can get away with everything. And sometimes they think they can get away with murder.
Sandra, I love the moments where we see you in the series, sort of earlier on in your career. You're there as a detective. You're speaking with members of the press. What first drew you to host a series about these crimes, of which, of course, you were a member of that community in your role with Palo Alto Police and the tech industry more broadly?
Well, I'll tell you, I grew up in the Bay Area. I grew up in Silicon Valley. Everybody in my family worked tech. My husband worked for Hewlett Packard. He was tech, right? I even started in tech. And then thank goodness I got laid off in 1982, which led me to getting this job. So what led me here was I worked a case in 1998 and it ended up being a documentary called The Tetris Murders. And if you liked this one, go watch that one, right? And it was also by Warner Brothers and Crazy Legs production. That case I was intricately involved in and I loved it. And I'm that person who I'm a little on the exterior. I'm like very excited about things. And I love my partners. I love my colleagues, but they were very quiet. They're more introverted. So when that series was done, it's a 3-part series. The production company came to me and they said, "Hey, we really like your vibe. Would you be interested in having your own show?" And I was like, I don't know what that means. And so we worked it out and here I am. And I mean, I was just walking down the street minding my own business, right? They wrote a song about that. And then here I am now. I have a six episode series. And this is season 1 and we're looking to go to season 2. It's very exciting for me, my friends, my family, my neighbors are going crazy. And I actually got recognized at the store last week. So it's a little scary on top of that. But let's talk about this idea. um, I loved working in Silicon Valley. I loved living in Silicon Valley. But there is this misconception. And it's not everybody, obviously, it's not everybody, but there are a few people, and there's 2 more coming after tonight that is really going to shock you where people think or they're not thinking, I'm going to get away with this. I can hide the body. I can, leave the state. Nobody will know. And unfortunately or fortunately, we do catch these people. But it's not all about laughs and giggles because people lost their lives. And that's the sad part about it. They lost their lives because of money, greed, a status, people who thought that they had it going on and they were better than anybody else and they could get away with stuff. And privilege, that's what I was looking for. Maybe they thought they had privilege and they don't.
I'm hoping we could talk at least a little bit without giving away too much of the episode. This really remarkable Tiffany Lee case. It was not something I admit I was familiar with before I watched the episode. As soon as it started, I could not put it down. What should people know about the basics there and sort of how the real life evidence, as maybe confounding as it was at the time, eventually started to fall into place?
I'm going to say this. This was a classic, 2 sides of the track. Now, Tiffany Lee, very wealthy family, really into real estate from China, multimillionaires. Keith Green, good kid, good guy, hard worker, but he lived on the other side of the tracks. And I think that Tiffany Lee really liked her bad boy sort of, attitude. She wanted to be with the bad boy, maybe to go against her family. But Keith Green really wasn't a bad boy. They had 2 kids together. He was a great dad. He was a hard worker, went to culinary school. But, without giving it away, Tiffany Lee found another bad boy that was a little badder, if there's such a word, than the first one. They find, and that's what I'm going to tell you about this case, but they do find this poor kid, several miles away in a park in the middle of the night in San Francisco wearing nothing but socks, and he was murdered. So the outcome of this case will be shocking. And all I have to say is their two daughters, they're going to grow up and they're going to have questions about their dad, and they're going to have questions about how he died and who did it.
And the testimonials in the episode, from people in and around the victim's family are among the most heart-wrenching testimonials you see in the show. And I wonder how, as a storyteller and as a host, of course, given your own personal experience in law enforcement, how do you balance the gruesome details of these heinous crimes while, of course, still showing the respect that is owed to the victims and their families?
Well, it's important to me that Keith Green's mom, who really fought for him, to have to watch this. And I know that the networks have given the families that, just like you have given them to watch it early on. I just want to say that, we're out here trying to solve the crime, but we still have empathy for the family. We have empathy for the victim themselves, and really we have empathy for those children. Those children are now, I believe, still living in China. They're still little girls. I just want everyone that's watched this to know, yes, we're law enforcement officers, but you know what? We have hearts and souls for these families. We want to hold up the best part of them and at the same time trying to solve this case for their families that are still living. And I send out to Keith Green's mom, I'm sorry for your loss, and I hope that we represent your son as the best that we could do.
Sandra, of course, the Silicon Valley ecosystem is known for tech, but I wonder what role technology itself has played in solving some of these cases, or maybe at times even complicating the path to solving these cases.
Well, technology, I would say that with Tiffany Lee, her family, their wealth, very important. But technology itself, a little bit of technology called a telephone that helped us solve this case. Just a little bit of GPS, and that's tech. That's tech for you.
Sandra Brown is a retired Palo Alto police detective. She is also host of the new, very excellent show, might I say, The Tech Bro Murders. It's on Investigation Discovery and HBO. All new episodes this week. Sandra, very grateful. Congratulations to you and the team. You've had an outstanding career in telling these very difficult stories. We wish you the best. I hope you'll come back on the show sometime soon. Thank you.
Smarsh helps companies keep track of their digital communications, everything from emails and texts to social media and chat apps. Its tools make it easy for businesses, especially in finance and government, to store, search, and review messages so they stay compliant with regulations. The platform also helps teams spot risks, manage audits, and stay organized across all of the ways people communicate at work. With everything securely stored in the cloud, Smarsh makes it simple to find what you need when you need it. Founded in 2001 and based in Portland, Oregon, the company works with organizations around the world to make communication compliance a lot less complicated. We recently spoke to the CEO of Smarsh to talk all about the company's mission. This segment was sponsored by Smarsh.
Now, Smarsh's mission is to protect the truth, right? So what does that mean in a practical sense, especially when we're dealing with financial institutions, people who have a lot to lose here?
Absolutely. I mean, protecting this truth is at the core of what we do, and it is so incredibly important, no matter what times we live in. And we're seeing in these times that understanding, documenting, and being able to rely on something that is absolutely positively truthful is increasingly actually important. So what does that mean in financial services? Financial services really is in many ways is the lifeblood that drives the global economy. It drives our national economy, but it also drives our household economies. And we've seen many times over the years in financial services that if there is disruption based on people trying to not have integrity in the system, based on things not being authentic and truthful, that disruption can not only cause problems in the system, it can cause problems of individuals like you and me. We rely on the system to be upright and truthful and have integrity to protect our children's 529 plans, to protect our own retirement plans, and those can really go awry if the system is not operating appropriately. So Smarsh plays a massively important role with our clients and on behalf of our clients to basically capture and protect and analyze with AI all of the communications data in the system in order to keep the system really operating most effectively.
And when we think about digital communication channels these days, they're growing so quickly in so many different ways. Tell me how Smarsh's platform kind of stays ahead of all that and really gets that complete picture of actually documenting and recording that truth.
Absolutely. This is one of the areas, the breadth of our communication channels and what we can capture is one of the most differentiated things about the Smarsh platform. And we keep up with it primarily through of course, our own linkages into technology, but also our clients. At Smarsh, we do business with 90% of the top financial institutions globally. And as a result of that, we are staying on the leading edge with them and for them. So as their employees, which sometimes, number into the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, as their employees adopt and require new communication channels, they must capture those and stay compliant, and Smarsh is generally the first place they turn in order to get access to new communication channels.
And you must use so many different tools at Smarsh to do all of this, but AI is obviously a big one, right? And I want to know a little bit more about how you use those AI models to stay transparent, to make sure they're explainable when you're dealing with your clients and using that AI that is getting used even more these days.
Well, Smarsh is an AI company, and we are very fortunate that we've been in AI for well over 10 years through our own efforts and companies that we've acquired. And AI is very, very helpful in the space of understanding communications data, pulling intelligence out of that communications data, making sure that there's good behavior happening and not bad behavior happening. So we are fortunate at Smarsh that we started with broad capture, which you asked me about. We hold that in a data platform that is very active, very rich, enriches all the data, because AI is only as good as the data that it actually crawls. And then we apply our time-tested capabilities, AI capabilities, to really look at that data and find better insights for our clients. Make sure our clients are looking at true risks, not false positives. Make sure that our clients are having efficient compliance organizations and efficient use of all the tools, because the AI is doing some of the first elements of work for them.
And with that mission that Smarsh has of protecting the truth, tell me a little bit more about how you then cultivate a company culture that actually aligns with that mission.
Well, our company culture is of tantamount importance. We talk to both our clients and our people about the Smarsh community. And the Smarsh community is broad. It's not just our people and our clients, it's also our investors, it's also people in our communities, et cetera. And we inside Smarsh are always trying to cultivate that community in a way that we can deliver for society as well as deliver for our clients, do that in an incredibly high integrity, high quality way with the leading edge tools like AI, like capture, like data analysis.
And Smarsh also talks about leading with excellence. You obviously have an illustrious career so far, done so much work as a CEO and so many other roles you've had in your life. Tell me a little bit more about how Smarsh keeps this leading with excellence mission going as well.
Well, in the work that we do, which is that Smarsh does, which is the intersection of technology with financial services, with leading edge tools, you absolutely positively must be excellent or you will become quickly irrelevant. So at Smarsh, as we are the largest and most strategic in our space of communications data and the intelligence and AI around it, in order to stay both the highest scale as well as with the best technology, we have to have excellent people, we have to have excellent process, we have to have excellent culture, we have to have excellent products and service. So we live and breathe excellence in every single thing that we do.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here.
It's such a pleasure
Thank you.
having you here, and thank you for spending some time with us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right.